Images of children behind bars this month set off outrage across the nation. Major airlines even asked the government not to use their planes to fly these children separated from their parents.
One flight attendant said that if he saw it happening, he would walk off the job. And tonight, he's speaking with our Jobin Paniker.
This inhumane separation of migrant children from their families is against the morals and principles instilled in me.
In his living room, Hunt Palmquist says he is surrounded by the people in pictures who gave him his moral compass. A flight attendant for 29 years and counting.
Well, why do you want to be a flight attendant? They ask, and we say, well, I love to travel and I love people. This is not the American citizen I was raised to be, nor the one I will embrace.
It was that compass that directed him to write a post on Facebook 2 weeks ago and shared everywhere.
These kids do not deserve the life that they have right now.
He was working on flights from San Antonio and McAllen, flights he now knows undocumented children were on, separated from their families. His post revealed that he refuses to work those flights again.
Sorry.
But it was the image of one 5-year-old.
It's just burned into my brain, you know? It's so tragic.
That rocked him to the core.
His chin was quivering and he just had tears running down his face. And he wasn't moving in his seat.
Hunt cannot say which airline he works for, but over the last 2 weeks, United, Frontier, Spirit, Alaska, American, and Southwest have all condemned the separation of families.
I was appalled. This isn't the America that I grew up in.
He said the children all wore gray sweatshirts and sweatpants, told not to say anything. ICE agents ordered them orange juice. He is inundated now with messages from strangers and other flight attendants, thanking him for taking a stand. Hunt reminds them, to do this job, you have to love people. Jobin Paniker, Channel 8 News.